It's the BUNLEE game of the week, so I'm so excited to get into this one, see what Miss BUNLEE thinks is going to win this game, and I'll tell you guys who I think is going to win what I think should be a very, very close game in the swamp. Hello, everybody. You're listening to the College Sports Superfan, and today we're going to get into the matchup between Texas A&M and Florida. To me, very similar teams, teams that suffered great disappointment in their week 1 games and then bounced back strongly in week 2 because they played their cupcake, easy tune-up game. So very similar, and now they're in a pivotal week 3 battle. This game to me is so extremely important for the Florida Gators because if Florida loses this game against Texas A&M, I think there's no shot, no chance that they have a winning season. Even if they win this game, the odds are still stacked against them, but they have to win this game. They have to. Because you look at the rest of their schedule, top 10 Ole Miss, top 10 Tennessee, top 10 Texas, top 10 Georgia. I mean, it's just one team after another that they have to deal with. Now, fortunately for them, Florida State has really fallen off here, but so they're not so much of a threat as we thought when the season first began. But that's another one of those games where they now have to win that one too in order to even just go 6-6. So you need to beat Texas A&M to even set up the opportunity to at least have potential to have a winning season and for Billy Napier to keep his job. On the other side, though, Coach Elko, Mike Elko is now with the Aggies coming over from Duke. He now has to prove that, hey, he can win in the SEC. So it's not like this isn't a big deal for him either. I just think it's a bigger deal for Florida. But at the end of the day, he's got to prove, hey, I can go in and I can win in these tough environments in the SEC. I can do it. I can get the job done as well. So he's also trying to prove something also. But the Aggies have been tough to watch on offense. Connor Weigman, I don't know what's happened to him. He was a highly touted quarterback, and I think his development has just gone sideways because of all the injuries he's had to deal with and other things such as that. But at running back, Le'Veon Moss has emerged as a very, very good running back. Keep in mind, sadly for the Aggies, Reuben Owens, who could have been the star running back this season, got injured in practice and suffered a season-ending injury before the year even began. So unfortunately, he is out. Uh, so they've had to rely on Le'Veon Moss, who's really stepped it up as a really good receiver, as a really good running back. And then Florida, on the other hand, they've had to make a change at quarterback. Graham Mertz did not look good against Miami. They put in DJ Lagway, the super talented 5-star freshman, and he lit it up against the Hurricanes. He looked really, really good. And that allowed him to win the starting job against Samford, where he threw for 3 touchdown passes against the Samford, Bulldogs. So he threw 3 touchdown passes against the Samford Bulldogs. And Montrell Johnson has been a great running back. Eugene Wilson has been a playmaker at wide receiver. So he's certainly got weapons. And Florida seems to be a little bit better on offense since Lagway has taken over. So now I'm going to get into my biggest concern for both teams heading into this high-powered matchup in the swamp. For Texas A&M, my concern for them is the offense will not be able to get going because Florida's run defense has been better than their pass defense, which kind of is surprising to me because I thought Florida's secondary was going to be better than their front seven. But so far, the run defense has been a little bit better, and the Aggies are relying way too much on the run because Weigman and their other quarterbacks just have not been very impressive so far. And then my big concern for Florida is that DJ is still a true freshman. This is the best team technically he's had to start against. He saw playing time against Miami, but this is the best team he's had to start against. They're certainly not Samford, that's for sure. So I don't think he's going to be throwing 3 touchdown passes against the Aggies defense. and he just has to avoid turning the ball over, and I'm worried his inexperience could potentially cost him and his team a chance of winning this game. But what do I think is going to happen? Well, going through history, this series is actually tied 3-3 all time. These two teams played each other 2 times before the Aggies joined the SEC in 2012 in that expansion, and they've played 4 times since then, including that first year, and they've split those 4 times they've played in the SEC. So this series has been completely even down the board. It's all tied up 3-3. So who do I think is going to win this edition? I've gone back and forth on this one. The Aggies started off as a 3-point favorite, then 3.5. Now the Aggies are a 4-point favorite. So it seems like they're shifting slightly in favor of Texas A&M. But I got to be honest, I think Florida is going to win this one. I've got the Gators winning in the Swamp by 3. And the big reason why is because, as I said earlier, Florida needs to win this game way more than Texas A&M for their head coach to keep his job, for their young quarterback to get a lot of confidence. This game is more important to Florida, in my opinion, than it is to Texas A&M at this point when you look at what's ahead for this season. I think the defense is going to limit the opportunities for Texas A&M, and I think Florida is going to end up just coming out of this one and winning by 3. And now we're going to see who BUNLEE picks as the winner of this game. So stay tuned for that and continue to watch the College Sports Superfan. BUNLEE, are you ready to make your picks for Florida and Texas A&M? I think she is. All right, so BUNLEE's 2 options. Basil leaf fresh washed for Florida, or the jumbo blueberry for Texas A&M. Which one will she pick? All right, here we go. Will she pick Texas A&M or Florida? She's thinking Florida. Is she gonna actually pick them though? Oh my gosh, I think she is. Wow, she picked Florida to beat Texas A&M. Oh my goodness. Great pick, Miss BUNLEE. You're 2-0 so far. We'll see if you get to 3-0. And we will see you all next time on the College Sports Superfan.